Today's Vallath challenge is based on linguistics. But do you know what is going to be the win-win today in this lecture? I have actually created few slides on linguistics talking about it from a student's point of view, from somebody who is new in this area, wants to know more about it, and wants to understand systematically the different layers or the different steps in linguistics. That is what you're going to learn, followed by so many multiple choice questions based on linguistics. So, are you ready with me? Yes, you are. Hello, hello. How are you? This is Heena from Team Vallath. I love working like this with you, talking to you through Vallath. It is perfect, right? Comment down if you like our videos. Subscribe to our channel if you still haven't. And we have these books, these awesome books that you can actually go and check out on vallathbooks.com. They're gold. Okay. So let's start with what is linguistics? Tell me. I don't want to talk the definition of it. I want to ask you, there is a little baby who grows, starts talking to his parents. He speaks in any language his parents speak with him in. For example, if the parents speak Hindi, the child picks up Hindi. If the parents speak English, likewise. If they speak Portuguese, likewise. So, take a 5-year-old child example who starts speaking full sentences without any grammar rule, without any dictionary, without any formal training. Just because the elders are talking in front of him, he picks up the words followed by, first he picks up the sounds, followed by the words, then the sentences, then the meaning, the context, right? So, this 5-year-old child starts saying, Mama, I don't want to go there, or Mama, I am hungry. How did the child learn or know this language? Is language something that he memorized, or is it something deeper? Say, language is knowledge in the mind. How? Like a student says, for example, she go, and then he instantly corrects himself and he corrects himself and says, she go, no, I mean, she goes to school. Okay. Think carefully what happened here. Did the student not know grammar? No. I mean, he did. He just corrected himself. He started with she go, and then he said, na, iske saath to goes lagega. So he changed and he said, she goes to school, right? The rule was already in his mind. So here the distinction comes between two words, competence and performance. Competence is what we know in our mind, which means in my mind, I know the correct sentence is she goes to school. Performance, what I actually say. I say she go to school and then I correct myself. This is the performance. So these two are not always the same. Therefore, language is not just a speech, it's a mental system. Okay, I'm building up. Please don't think what I'm teaching, I'm building up. By the end of these slides, you will be confident. Okay, so what did we learn in this slide? We learned language is not just speech, it's a mental system, it's a knowledge in our mind. Language is not random, it is structured. For example, look at these two sentences. First, the cat is on the table. Second, table the on is cat the. Of course, because we are old enough to understand that second it's a jumbled sentence, whereas the first one is a perfect with meaning sentence. The words are the same in both the sentences, but only the first one makes sense. Why? Why? Because language is not a bag of words. I can just add everything here and make language. No, it's a system of rules. Language is a system of rules. Just imagine language is building, a big building with different stories. And now I'm going to explain you how this building is formed from foundation to top. Take this building as a pyramid, please. Language is like a building, and now we're going to learn about the layers of language from foundation, that is from base to top. Okay, I'm going to call these layers. Let's talk about layer one, which is the sound. Sound. A child is born, he hears sounds, right? That's the foundation of language. Everything begins with a sound. For example, pin and bin. Here only the first sound changes. Pa, but the meaning changes completely, which means even the smallest sound matters. Another example of sound can be sip, zip, sip and zip, the pants zip. Then another example is fan, van. Only the initial sound changed, but the meanings are changing completely. These are minimal pairs. You know, the initial sound, that's the minimal pair which changes the meaning completely. So, how sound is produced, that we deal in phonetics. How sounds are produced, phonetics. These days, you know, when we were taught in school, when I was little, I was taught CAT, cat, BAT, bat. These days, schools have changed their way of teaching. They teach through phonetics, through sounds. They teach kids as ka at a cat, ba at a bat, ish, fish. That's how my child actually speaks. So these days, the teaching is through sound. So how sound is produced, that's dealt in phonetics, whereas how sound functions in a system is called phonology. What is phonology? How sound functions in a system, right? So the first layer where our journey begins of developing a language is sound. Now come to the second layer of this building of language. It's called word. First was sound. Now word. One word. Sounds combine to form words. Easiest example, unhappiness. Break it with me. Unhappiness. There are three parts in this word. All of have three different meanings. Together they come and become a meaningful word. So the smallest unit in a word is morpheme. Look, what is the definition of morpheme? The smallest unit of meaning that a word can be divided into in a particular language. For example, let me break teacher. Teach plus books, book plus right? Book plus s. Here, is a bound morpheme. It has to combine with teach to become teacher. So just remember, in words, we talk of morphemes, morphology, right? So the second layer is words. The first layer was sound. Now, in words, please understand something very interesting. Happy can be changed into another word called as happiness. Happiness is absolutely a new word, new category. Play can be changed into played. Here the word is the same, only the tense changes. Play is present tense, played becomes past tense. So, in morphology, in word formation, derivation means when you create a new word. Happiness is derived from happy, like we have created a new word. Whereas inflection means grammatical change. Inflection means grammatical change. Play becomes played. Sing becomes sang, right? So now sounds have become meaningful units through words. How is the building of language forming? Sound, words. Now come to the third layer, which should be sentences, right? When you combine the words in order, they give you a meaning, right? Words alone cannot be enough. What if I come here and say, hello, Vallath, linguistics, phonetics, morphology. No, I have to combine these words. You know, I will say, hello, today in Vallath Challenge, I have got this lecture on linguistics, right? Here, the example I've given you is dog bites man, man bites dog. These are two different sentences. Both have same words, same vocabulary, but the meaning is different. Why? Because of the order of words. And this is what we study in syntax. Syntax. Another example, she is happy. Oh, is she happy? Right? So language has invisible rules that we follow naturally. Language has invisible rules that we follow naturally. Wow. So talk about the building now. Sound, word, sentences. Now meaning. Meaning. Structure gives us meaning. Example, the boy kicked the ball. Here, listening to this sentence, what is the meaning? You understood who did the action? Boy. What happened? The ball was kicked. Who received it? It went there, right? Now, look at another thing, how meaning changes. There's the same word bank. I say river bank, which is the corner of the river. Money bank, which is literally like a gullak. Same word, but different meanings. This level, here we study semantics. Semantics. Now, level 5 is context. That's the real communication in the world. For example, a teacher comes in a noisy class. She looks at this class and she says, "It is very noisy here." You know what does she mean? Be quiet. Similarly, I am sitting on the table with my husband and I say, "Can you pass the salt?" Is this a question? No, it's a request. It means give me the salt, right? So meaning changes with the context. This is called pragmatics, practical use of language, right? Now, come to linguistics. I haven't written the definition here, but now you should know the definition of linguistics after talking so much. Linguistics actually is the scientific study of language, right? It focuses on its structure, development, and use across human societies, including both spoken and signed forms. Linguistics actually investigates the rules governing sounds, words, and sentences to understand how language works in mind and in society. Theek? So, mota mota, what is linguistics? It's a scientific study of language, and I gave you the different levels of creating that language, right? And who is the thinker who taught us, who gave this concept a little deeper about linguistics? He's none other than Ferdinand de Saussure, who's called the father of modern linguistics and also the founding father of semiotics or semiology. It was Saussure who said that language is a system of signs. It was Saussure who said that every word has two parts: signifier, which is the sound, signified, which is the concept, right? For example, Saussure says, why do we call it a tree? Why not XYZ? There is no reason because language is arbitrary, right? Yes, it's a system of science. Lovely. So now come to the conclusion, and I will love to talk to you about it. Let's talk about the full journey that we did today. First, we spoke of sound, which is covered in phonetics. So what is phonetics? It is the branch of linguistics that studies sound, that studies speech sounds. That is phonetics. After phonetics comes word, that is connected to morphology. So what is morphology? It is the subfield of linguistics that studies the internal structure of words. Morphology studies the internal structure of words. After words comes sentence. Connect sentence with syntax. So what is syntax in linguistics? Syntax is the study of rules, principles, and processes that govern how words and morphemes are arranged from phrases, clauses, and sentences. Again, repeat. In linguistics, syntax is the study of rules that govern how words and morphemes are arranged to form phrases, sentences, and clauses. Wow. After this, meaning. Meaning is generated. And it's connected with semantics. So what is semantics? It is a branch of linguistics which is focused on the systematic study of meaning in language. Systematic study of meaning in language is semantics. And last, meaning comes to context, which is related to pragmatics. So what is pragmatics? It studies how context contributes to meaning. How context contributes to meaning, right? Wow. So linguistics is not about English alone. It is actually about how the human mind creates language and understands language. And this is the precise reason how I started, come back here full circle, where why a child can speak a language even without opening a grammar book. That is what my slide 1 was. Because of linguistics, because human mind creates language and understands it. Do you understand it? I am done with explaining you broadly what linguistics is. And now we're going to enter the MCQs. Are you ready? Yes, you are. So am I. Which of the following is an example of bound morpheme? Question number one. Example of bound morpheme is A, book, B, run, C, ing, ing, as in lightning, as in, fishing. Of course, it is ing. Wow. Why? Bound morpheme cannot stand alone as a word. Bound morpheme needs to attach to another morpheme, which is called a root or a base to have meaning. So suffixes like ing, as in playing, are bound morphemes. Easy? Very easy. Come to question number 2. The term code switching refers to, what is code switching in linguistics? Tell me. A, switching off communication. B, changing language with conversation. C, translating texts. बताओ code switching क्या होता है? बुधायो बुधायो. So here I used 3 languages during my conversation. I spoke English, I spoke Hindi, then I spoke Sindhi. That is changing language within conversation. That's code switching, right? So code switching is the practice of alternating between 2 or more languages, dialects, or cultural behaviors within a single conversation or situation. Easy? Very easy. Come to question number 3. Which linguist introduced the distinction between langue and parole? Langue and parole, which is used in linguistics, was distinguished by A, Noam Chomsky, B, Ferdinand de Saussure, or C, Del Hymes. It is B, Ferdinand de Saussure. Please now go and research about langue and parole. That's your homework for the day. Come to question number 4. In linguistics, allophones are what? A, different meanings of a word. B, variants of a phoneme. Or C, word classes. The correct answer is B, variants of a phoneme. Should I give you an example? Say these 2 words, pin and spin. Pin and spin. Now put your hand in front of your mouth. Let me come close to the mic. Put your hand in front of your mouth and say these words. Spin, spin, spin. You can feel the air, okay? Pin, pin, no air. So per sound is different, okay? Different ways of saying the same sound. Here, per, pin, spin, right? But their meaning does not change, which means pin is a pin, spin is a spin. So these are variants of a phoneme. The per sound has it has an air, it does not have an air. So variants of a phoneme or different ways of saying the same sound, that is called allophone. Easy? Easy. Come to question number 5. Dash is a word formation process that involves removing prefixes or suffixes from an existing word to create a new word. Okay, tell me, what is it when you remove prefix or suffix from an existing word to create a new word? Easiest example, there is a word called teacher. I remove er, which is the suffix here, so the word becomes teach. What is it? Is it A, derivation? Is it B, back formation? Or is it C, compounding? It is an example of back formation. Option number B, back formation. See, in linguistics, back formation means removing a part from a word to make a new word. Removing a part from a bigger word to actually create a smaller word. For example, from editor, I remove OR, it becomes edit. From teacher, I remove ER, it becomes teach. These are examples of back formation. Easy? Shall I take a break? Am I talking non-stop? But I think it's very simple, right? Let's take a break for 30 seconds. I'm tired. I don't edit my videos, guys. I mean, I really don't remove the errors. I don't think I do so many errors, but then yes, it's a continuous teaching like how we do in a classroom. This is not artificial. This is not breaking up in between. No. So It's awesome working like this. It's like alive, which you can see anytime, of course. Come to question number 6. Dash is the ability of human language to communicate about things that are not present in the immediate environment. I'll give you an example. Tomorrow, I will go to watch a movie. I'm not present in the movie theater. I talk about a thing which is not there. Yesterday, I ate ice cream. I talk about a thing, ice cream, which is not currently present here. What is this ability of human language called? Is it A, displacement? Is it B, duality of structure? Or is it C, recursiveness? It is option A, displacement. Displacement is the ability to talk about past, future, or imaginary things. I gave you these examples. Yesterday I went to the park. Tomorrow I will eat ice cream, right? Come to question number 7. This is a chronological question. These are works by Noam Chomsky. Just arrange them chronologically. Actually, which of the following is in correct chronological order? That is the question. Okay. I won't speak the names of these books. I'll come to the answer. Look here. Listen to these important works by Noam Chomsky. They are helpful. Option number B is right. Aspects of the Theory of Syntax was published in the year 1965. Aspects of the Theory of Syntax, 1965. Followed by Language and Mind, published in 1968. Language and Mind, 1968. Followed by the Minimalist Program of 1995. Okay. And there's one more book here. It's in option number 1, Syntactic Structures. That's also by Noam. It was published in 1957. But here the correct order is B. Okay? Easy? Nice. Come to question number 8. Who among the following was not a founder of basic English? Not a founder of basic English. A. Noam Chomsky, B. I.A. Richards, or C. C.K. Ogden. It is Noam. Noam was not. Founders of basic English were Ogden and Richards. They developed the simplified English language during the 1920s and 30s. Okay? So Richards and Ogden are founders of basic English language, simplified English language. Come to question number 9. John Sinclair is associated with which of the following fields of study? John Sinclair is associated with A. Corpus linguistics, B. Hermeneutics, or C. Phenomenology. Phenomenology. It is A. Corpus linguistics. What is it? It's a discipline, that has radically changed theories about language and approaches to the study of language. What is corpus linguistics? That was developed by Sinclair. He was one of the founding fathers. Tell me, what is corpus linguistics? CL. It talks of radically changed theories about language and approaches to the study of language. Okay? Come now to the 10th question. Who coined the term mytheme? It's actually from myth. A. Maud Bodkin, B. Claude Levi-Strauss, or C. Northrop Frye. It was Strauss. You know what? This is very interesting. Strauss said a myth is made of small units, just like a language is made of sounds. Myth is made of small units. Myth actually is the story. Myth is like there's a sun god or there's a rain god who showers rain. So the smallest unit of myth is mytheme, just like language is made of sounds. Wow. And this term mytheme was coined by Strauss to describe the smallest indivisible units of a myth. Okay? So nice. Come to question number 11. It's the last question. Who among the following is associated with the concept of universal grammar? Universal grammar is associated with A. Noam, B. Leonard Bloomfield, or C. Edward Sapir. It is Chomsky. Chomsky, we know, is called. Chomsky proposed that the ability to learn language is innate to humans. Chomsky proposed, I'm a little confused here. No, the answer is Chomsky. He proposed that the ability to learn language is innate in humans, which is called universal grammar. Okay, done. And come now to the fun facts. These are no less than questions, but I've just converted them into facts, easy for you to grab. Sasur's course in general linguistics was published in the year 1916. So this is like a very important book in linguistics, Course in General Linguistics by Ferdinand. It's published in 1916. Next, an essay by Roman Jacobson, very famous essay, is called Linguistics and Poetics. Linguistics and Poetics. It's an essay by Roman Jacobson. Next, competence and performance are two key terms in linguistics which were introduced by Noam Chomsky. So, Noam Chomsky introduced these key terms called competence and performance. I spoke of them. And then talk about the study of changes in language over a span of time is called diachronic. So, the study of changes in language, the change that you see in language over a span of time is diachronic. Wow, this was such a power-packed session. I hope you loved it. If you did, kindly drop down a comment. I love reading them and replying, of course. This is Heena from Team Vallath. Take very good care of yourself. Bye-bye.